Hey, Coach Broseph, Copper Moose Fitness, and today I just want to talk about vitamin D and vitamin D deficiency. It's actually a really common thing to see some deficiency in vitamin D these days in the United States, whether it's because we're working more hours or we're just indoors more hours on electronic devices as opposed to being outside, playing outside than past generations, or maybe it's just because we're aware of it and we check it more. Whatever the reason is, we're seeing quite the number of cases of vitamin D deficiencies. In fact, when I went to my last physical just to get a checkup, doctor, first thing she said after reading my report is, "Oh, great, your vitamin D is good." And I knew it would be, or at least I expected that it would be based on what I eat and how I spend some time outdoors every day. But we talked about how it's just becoming such a common thing for people to be deficient. And the reason it's so important is, one, it fights depression. There's actual links and studies that saying enough vitamin D in your system is helping to combat depression. Two, it increases bone strength. The more we age, the more important bone strength is. And the last thing is that it builds your immune system up. And I don't know about you, but the better my immune system is, the less days I miss working, and the more time and quality time I can spend with my family, and the less chance I have of contracting something, giving it to them, or vice versa. And that's really important. So how do we do this other than sunlight? Sunlight's important, yes, 10 to 15 minutes a day, but other than that, what do we do? Well, a lot of it comes down to diet. So I wanted to give you the 8 best foods. And the first one are your fatty fishes. Salmon. Salmon was one of the best ones that you can have to fight and build and get vitamin D back into your system. So work salmon into your diet. Canned tuna. Canned tuna is also another really good one. That's number 2. But with the levels of mercury, I'd limit it to 1 serving per week. That's a good one. Number 3, eggs. But it's primarily the yolk where you've got the vitamin D. So a lot of people are like, oh, I want to go egg whites to be healthier, right? There's some great studies to fight for that, fight for against that, both ways. But if your goal is to get more vitamin D into your system, add the egg yolk. That's where you're getting the vitamin D. Number 4 is actually orange juice. I know what you're thinking. You're like, Joseph, you aren't really a fan of juices or anything like that. Your goal is 0-calorie beverages. And yes, when it comes to weight loss, that is the nice thing, is if your goal is to lose some fat, ditch all the calorie beverages and you're good. But if you're fighting vitamin D deficiencies, work some orange juice, maybe blend it into your smoothie, so it's like a nice meal replacement type smoothie or type thing, and that's gonna give you a good chunk of vitamin D within there. That also means fortified milk, right? So fortified milk can be a great thing. So if you're doing a shaker smoothie or something like that, that's a great way to do it. Now, it is your fattier milks that are going to have more vitamin D. So of course, your whole milk is gonna have a lot more than your non-fat milk, all right? Next one is fortified yogurt. Right, so the better the yogurt, better you're gonna be. Number 7, sardines, which, yeah, same thing. Me, not so much. But number 8 is definitely a good one, Portobello Mushrooms. Portobello Mushrooms, loaded with good vitamin D. So there's your top 8. Include them in your diet, reach out. Coach Broseph, I'm out.